I love music. And when I play a game, a quality soundtrack is integral to my enjoyment. Music can help you become immersed in the atmosphere of a game. It can help heighten the emotion of certain scenes. Or it can just be absolutely banging. I thought I'd celebrate my love for games by making my top 10 video game soundtracks. But first, some ground rules. First of all, I've not played every game ever. I might not have put something on this list because it might be a game that I've never played. Second, I'm doing one game per series. Thirdly, this is my opinion and I have no idea what I'm talking about when it comes to music. And finally, these are not in order. We good? Good. Obviously I was going to have a Mario game on this list. The World 1-1 theme is iconic as sin. But which Mario game would I pick? It was almost impossible for me to decide. But to me, my favourite Mario soundtrack goes to Mario Odyssey. As soon as you hit Fossil Falls, the music inspires you with a sense of wonder. Just when Mario was at its most mediocre, Mario Odyssey came out of nowhere and kicked everyone in the dick. And don't even get me started with the music with actual singing in it. Whether it's Dancing with Pauline or battling Bowser on the moon, the music always fills me with joy.
Here we go, off the rails. Don't you know it's time to raise our sail?
One of my favourite series of all time is Metal Gear Solid. The first entry has my favourite soundtrack. You've got the ambient rustic tracks whilst travelling through Shadow Moses. The emotional melodies that add gravitas to the incredible story. And don't forget the iconic music that plays when you're spotted. No doubt this is worth a listen. If you don't know what a Metal Gear or a Solid is, check out my video on Metal Gear Solid 1. When Yooka-Laylee came out, it was a disappointment to many, but who'd have thunk that a sequel would have such an outstanding soundtrack? So many calm, soothing tracks. Mixed in with some high-octane, thrilling music. Every time I died when doing the impossible layer, all I can think is,
that sounds good.
I've said before that I'm not the biggest JRPG fan, but that didn't stop me from getting a massive hard-on for the Final Fantasy VII soundtrack. The title theme makes such an impact as it slowly transitions into the bombing run theme. This always gets me so amped up. The battle theme is also just supreme. I never grew up with the Crash Bandicoot games, but since picking up the Insane trilogy, I've fallen in love with the music, especially in Crash Bandicoot 2, whether it's riding a bear, or doing one of the jet ski levels. But my favourite track is from the jetpack levels. I love how there's a slow build-up. More instruments are added as the song goes along. And it just keeps ramping up until... oh my god, it's so good. This one was tough. I needed to pick a Sonic game, but which one would I choose? Well, I'm gonna go with Sonic Generations. Why? Because it has like all the best tracks from all the best games. It's even got some really good remixes for the classic stages. Being able to blast through stages listening to whatever songs you want made this choice a no-brainer. Though I'm not as in love with the game as everybody else, this indie game has a soundtrack made by one person, who also made the entire game. Of course, I'm talking about Undertale. There is such a variety of tracks. They seem at first just to be 8-bit tunes. But these simple melodies disarm you for the sublime boss music. My favourite boss track is Death by Glamour. As much as I love these ball-busting tracks, I can't dismiss the emotional music like Hopes and Dreams. If this game isn't for you, at least listen to the soundtrack. I'm pretty sure it's illegal not to pick a Zelda game, but I just did not know what to pick, so I decided to ask Reddit. And I completely ignored them. I decided to go for A Link Between Worlds. I know this is nobody's first pick, and a lot of these songs are remixes from A Link to the Past. But I still think they capture the sense of adventure perfectly, and the new tracks are really enjoyable. Now, if you told me years ago that one of my favourite musical compositions was from a platformer starring what I thought at the time was a side character in a Mario game, I would have thought you've gone mad. But the music in Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy Kong's Quest, is outstanding. I love how the music captures this swashbuckling adventure as you go through pirate ships, and you travel through the mines. And despite this being a platformer, the music elevates the game to new heights. I don't think I love this game as much if the music wasn't incredible. Now, if there is ever a question about video game music being an art form, this is my answer. We live in a world on fire. And when I'm at my lowest, I listen to this track, because its calm melody makes me feel like everything will get better. Life is tough, and we all face trials, but listening to music and playing games gives us that brief escape that gives us the will to carry on. Before we find out what number 1 is, we're going to do an honourable mentions speed round. Doom Eternal isn't on this list because if I listen to the soundtrack anymore, I'll actually want to commit a murder. Banjo-Kazooie is delightful and it always fills me with a sense of childlike wonder. Shadow of the Colossus, never a boss battle sounded so epic yet so sad. Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is one of my favourite games of all time, and every time I finish the quest it goes ah! Mega Man X is amazing, it has epic guitar riffs, I'm pretty sure that's why it's called Rockman in Japan. And finally, on to number 1, Chrono Trigger. Not only was this the first video I made on my channel, but it's also one of the greatest soundtracks I've ever heard. Whether it's the incredible boss music against Magus, you've got the incredible battle theme, one of my favourite tracks is the theme that plays when you're on trial. The track seems quite wacky at first, but it gets more serious as the gravity of the situation sinks in. I love the calm melody of the wind theme. I love this soundtrack. It elevates the game so much. If you've not played Chrono Trigger, you are making a mistake. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you. I wanted to express my passion for video game music. It's one of the most underappreciated aspects of the entire video game experience, and the amount of love and passion these composers put in needs to be appreciated. Let me know what your top 10 would be, and please check out my other series, Nostalgia. I look at old games I've never played before to determine if they still hold up today. Any support is appreciated, and let me know if you want any more top 10s. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.